Okay, folks, we are live for episode 2 of What the Hell's Going On in Ballyhoo land. If you'd all like to say hello and introduce yourselves so that everybody watching knows who's on the call.
Hello, Lee here.
Hi, I'm Swantis.
Hi, Rosie here.
Hi, Woody here.
Cool. All good, right. So it's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it, since we started Ballyhoo. Um, but I guess a quick recap is that we started off in a circus tent. We decided to go up a trapeze and try a high wire that we then fell off onto a net. We then went outside, helped a little person have a drink, who then ran off. We discovered that there's a turnstile that won't let us go any further east, but that leads to a sideshow. And we also discovered that there's a turnstile going south that leads to some other enclosed area that we can't get to. We found an office in a white circus caravan that we can't get into because it's locked. We discovered a pole underneath the caravan that we might be able to use to cross the tightrope. And then we also found another circus tent, a small tent that we went into, and we found a clown mask and we found a gorilla suit that we then wore, and then we hid behind Edgar Hoover, was it? I can't remember who it was. Taft. No, it was Taft. The former US President Edward Taft, is that his name? We hid in our gorilla suit behind a cardboard cutout of President Taft, and then overheard the owner of the circus talking to a private investigator about the fact that his daughter has been kidnapped. And I can't remember. Did he blame? Did he think it was someone in the circus that had done it, or someone outside of the circus that had done it? Does anybody remember?
I can't remember him blaming anyone, but I do remember a sense that it couldn't get out because the reputation would be ruined. Like they needed to keep it quiet.
Oh, that's right. Yes, we had to do this. Yeah, not let it get to the press or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we might have to go back and revisit that to, to remember exactly what the deal is there. But anyway, we then went back into the circus tent to find that first of all they'd moved the grandstand, and which opened up a little area underneath the grandstand that we could get to, where we found a ticket to the sideshow, and we also discovered that as we went in, one of the hands had taken the safety net away from the trapeze, from the high wire act. So if we do have to go up there and across the high wire, we're doing it without a net to catch us next time. And that's where we are now. So we're standing in the performance ring. You'll see from the description that it's also missing its safety net. A rope ladder dangles to within a foot of the ground. Just to the west is the entrance to a large round cage that completely encircles the second of the two rings. Exit is to the south. Grandstand rises to the north and the east. But we've been up there and there's nothing we can do.
We did do one other thing,
What was that?
which is we wanted to desperately test the theory that the pole would help us cross the tightrope. So we tried climbing the ladder,
True.
but every time that we tried to climb the ladder, it was like, you're holding a ticket, you drop the ticket before you can climb. You're holding a pole, you drop the pole before you can climb.
That's
So
true.
So we need a backpack or something that we can carry stuff but still have our hands free. Otherwise, we can't get to the top of the pole or top of the ladder.
Or just try dropping everything except for the pole. Maybe we're carrying too much.
Possibly. Or maybe the poll is for something else entirely. We don't know. At the moment, we have kind of no incentive to go up there anyway. apart from the suggestion in the opening description that we have kind of we have latent desire to be a famous circus act, but we don't seem to have done anything about it and have no training. So there's no good reason for us to go up there. I can only imagine that at the point where we do need to go up there, we're being chased by something with big teeth, possibly. I don't know. But in the meantime, we have this ticket. So I'm just going to do an inventory. You have your ticket, a gorilla suit being worn, a fiberglass pole, a clown mask, and $12.81. Might want to just take the gorilla suit off. I mean, maybe the gorilla suit was hampering us climbing up the thing as well. I don't know.
I agree. Taking it off seems a reasonable thing to do.
You laboriously climb out of the heavy, itchy gorilla suit. Okay. So we could try going east through the turnstiles outside.
But did you not want to try dropping everything except for the pole and going across the thing then? I'm just wondering whether
Okay.
we can get back or not. I suppose we will have to be able to go back because we need to go south and into the office.
Okay, drop all works. You dropped your ticket, gorilla suit, fiberglass pole, and clown mask. We'll get the pole and then we'll go up. You grasp the ladder firmly and climb up. Okay, so we still have our money and we have the pole and we're on the platform. So that is a thing that we can do. Was it east?
Yeah, I couldn't remember which way it was.
You are standing poised high above the arena floor, a couple of baby steps across the tightrope. So yes. Hold, pole, you already have it. Balance with pole? No, okay. You take a couple of tentative steps across.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, just try crossing.
Yeah. Okay.
Use pole might be another one to try.
I'm pretty sure at this point when we tried it before, it said that we were tilting one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not now, maybe because we have the pole. So we've gone east again. Take a couple of tentative steps across the wire, reaching the halfway point. And a bit further. And a bit further. Ta-da! Those familiar notes from tonight's show reverberate through your body in triumph. Platform. You're standing on a small unstable platform which is suspended high above the arena floor by guy wires converging on it from all directions. The tightrope stretches west to the opposite platform. Floating against the ceiling of the big top is a helium balloon.
Get it!
You grab the helium-filled balloon at the frill where it is tied. The balloon gives a constant upward tug at your fingertips.
10 points.
Yes, we've
Ooh.
got some points for crossing the platform, or crossing to the platform.
Yeah, we got 10 points for finding the ticket, didn't we? So, okay. Now, presumably I can't go down here. Is this helium balloon going to prevent us from getting back, do you think? Let's see. Okay, we're going to go just west to try and go back. Looks okay. Halfway. Platform. Oh, okay. Trying to grip the ladder, you fumble away the fiberglass pole and it falls to the ground below. Oh.
Save.
Okay, I am going to save. I'm going to save under another save game. We may have needed to tie the balloon to something. Okay, no. We have the balloon and all of our things are at the bottom here, so we have managed to get down. It understands get all except pole. That's a nice, pretty good parser.
Nice. Yeah.
So gorilla suit, ticket, and clown mask are taken. And we have the balloon and our money. All right, I'm going to save now. Oh, I'm going to overwrite this save game. Okay. So we have a helium balloon. Oh, it doesn't know X, does it? Look at balloon. It's a bright red balloon which is tied closed and filled with helium. Okay. This sounds like voice changing is going to be required at some point, doesn't it? Which is something we did like literally last week with the giant balloon that Rosie got for her birthday. It was genuinely really good fun.
How does this date in comparison to it?
It's about contemporary, isn't it? When was it written? I think it was early 80s. So
Just thinking we've got a clown mask, haven't we? And
we do.
It balloon.
It's true.
You want to go and hide in a sewer somewhere?
Well, if we see a drain, we know what to do. Let's put it that way. Okay, in the wings, let's go south again. You emerge into the warm night air of summer. Let's go east to the turnstile. Okay, insert ticket in slot. You feed your ticket into the slot, but it's immediately rejected. Perhaps you didn't follow the directions on the ticket. Oh, probably. Oh no! A replica of your ticket is included in your Ballyhoo package. Oh, we should have investigated the feelies first, shouldn't we?
Oh, I must admit, that did cross my mind last week. I didn't say anything.
Yeah. I did mean to do it, but just not. I didn't think it would be that important immediately. Let me see if I can. That is an oversight, isn't it? Because, okay. Okay. So, the ticket looks like a ticket to the circus itself. August 21st, 6 p.m, admit 1. The Travelling Circus that Time Forgot, Inc. Don't miss Rimshaw, the incomparable palmistry phrenology hypnosis. Section 24, row AA, seat 4. What does it say on the other side? This is... I have to say I'm a bit confused here because the ticket, looking at the images of the ticket, is the ticket is for the performance that we've already witnessed. But I thought the ticket that we discovered under the grandstand was a ticket to the sideshow.
That was just our assumption.
Well,
It had fallen. It seemed to me that as though it had fallen from someone who was sitting in the grandstand. So that sort of makes sense.
Do we know that the date's right?
There's writing on the back of the ticket. Here's what the back of the ticket says. It says, the Travelling Circus that Time Forgot, Inc. welcomes you to its 2-ring extravaganza and sideshow extraordinaire. You'll see feats of skill and daring, ferocious animals from the jungles of Africa and Asia, and amazing human curiosities. This ticket also entitles you to 3 sessions with Rimshaw the Incomparable. Simply present your ticket to 1. Have your palm read, 2. Undergo hypnosis, and 3. Allowed him to read the bumps on your head. We are committed to bringing you the best entertainment value. With this goal in mind, we are completing a series of demographic surveys. You can help us by punching out the pink female or blue male dot on the front of this ticket to indicate your gender. The travelling circus that Time Forgot Inc. is not liable for any loss of personal possessions or for any injuries or damages you might cause or personally sustain while on the circus grounds. To help prevent such injuries or damages and thus avoid the possibility of lawsuits on our behalf, we ask you to obey the following rules and regulations. Please do not throw anything into the circus ring. Severe injury to our performers may result. Please do not feed or attempt to pet the animals. These are unpredictable wild beasts. Beware of pickpockets, gamblers, thugs and thieves. We are not responsible for local criminal elements. Please leave immediately following the performance. Do not loiter in the ring or on the circus lot. Above all, have fun. We hope to see you again next time we're in town.
Does that mean that we've somehow got to indicate 1, 2 or 3 when we put the ticket in?
I'm starting to think, it says the narrow slot is a few inches long. I'm starting to think we just assumed that it was for the sideshow, but it didn't actually say that it was. So maybe we have to give the ticket to the guard at the other turnstile.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Okay, adjacent to the turnstile to the south is a vertical cage. Look at guard. You can see the shadowy outline of a man who's wearing a dark pair of sunglasses. Give ticket to guard. While you're still holding your ticket, the guard moves his hands gently over it and says, "Feels like your ticket to me." Yes. Oh dear.
Show ticket to guard rather than give.
Not surprisingly, the guard is oblivious to your ticket. The narrow slot is a few inches long. Put ticket in slot. It's immediately rejected. Perhaps you didn't follow the directions on the ticket. Maybe we do need to indicate our gender.
Yeah.
So punch a hole in it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's either blue or pink. This is the 80s. What should we be? Punch. What does it actually say? Does it say make a hole in the pink dot? You can help us by punching out the pink female or blue male dot on the front of this ticket. Punch out pink dot. You perforate the pink dot. Put ticket in slot. You feed your ticket into the slot and hear all kinds of internal computations being made. Then the ticket rolls out into your hand.
Nice.
You pass through the creaky turnstile. Okay. I wonder if this is two things then, isn't it? This is probably, first of all, a piracy check to make sure you've got a real copy of the game.
Never know to do that.
You would never know to do that unless you had the actual ticket. But secondly, it's also, and Infocom did this a few times in other games, it's a way of you indicating within the game what your gender is so that the game knows how to refer to you. But obviously it only recognises two genders. I wonder if it's going to treat us differently depending on what gender we are.
Wouldn't be very realistic if it didn't.
No. Although it would be nice to saw a man in half, for example. Okay, Midway entrance. To the west is the turnstile exit from the Midway, which continues east. The side of the big top borders on the north. A soiled, sagging banner beckons south. Next to the big top, the detective is talking to a pitchman who's carrying an open trunk that's strapped to his upper body. Okay, so we're at Midway entrance now.
I do also think it's worth remembering that there may be a 3-use limit on the ticket.
Do you think? Because we can... Well, it was very specific, wasn't it? We can have our palm read, we can be hypnotised, or we can have our head bumps checked.
Yeah, true. I might have read too much into that.
I mean, maybe we should probably walk around until we just get a sense of what's here. So let's try going north. Okay, the big top just borders to the north. South there's a banner, so let's look at the banner. To Menagerie. The detective examines the label of the flask that he's holding, then takes a slug. Look at Pitchman. He's all smiles and solicitude toward the detective. Wearing a rumpled trench coat and cradling a flask of Dr. Nostrum's in his hands, he appears to have some kind of monkey on his back. The pitchman gives the detective a final slap on the back and leads him through the turnstile. So they go back out to the west.
What do people think is meant by pitchman?
Well, the man who pitches a tent. I think these are the names of workers in a circus.
Wasn't he also holding like half a suitcase? What did it say?
It had
sounded like one of the
Open
cigarette salespeople during the intermission.
Did it say open casket?
No, a pitchman who's carrying an open trunk that's strapped to his upper body.
And that does sound like he's selling stuff.
Oh, or maybe it's a pitchman. Is that like a marketer? Someone who's pitching
I
a
guess
circus.
Maybe what we call a hawker.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Someone who doesn't have a, basically sells wherever he is, sort of wanders around selling stuff.
Yeah, or is given a pitch. Like he has a pitch.
Yeah.
He's giving his pitch. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, they've gone. It said the Midway continued to the east. So I'm not going to go south to the Menagerie yet. I'm going to go east. And this is Midway of Midway. This is about Midway along the Midway. Your eyes soak in the lavishly painted sideshow fronts. Andrew Jenny's to the south and Rimshaw's to the north. Aha. Okay. So Midway of Midway. So Rimshaw to the north, huh? And that's what we've got tickets for.
Just going to read you something quickly that we found about the sideshow pitchman. Sideshow freaks and other extreme attractions were a big part of circus sideshows, carnivals, and county fairs. But sideshows also had their aggressive yet colourful sideshow pitchmen, also known as talkers. These talkers could be found working the five and dimes and the boardwalks across the United States with their hard-selling, flamboyant style of marketing.
Ah,
Both an entertainer and a salesman.
yeah. So I wonder what he's selling.
Indeed.
So Andrew Jenny to the south. Okay. I suggest we just carry on along the midway until we get to the end. You've reached the far end of the midway. A sideshow front to the north advertises the 827 pounds of feminine charm that is Tina. Okay.
Yeah, 375 kilos.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is quite a lot.
Okay, well that's to the north, but what's to the east? Nothing, nothing. Okay. And that let's try northeast. No, so it's just cardinal directions here. Let's go and see Tina, shall we?
I don't think she's going anywhere.
This is west half of Fat Lady. Dominating this once spacious room, geographic in her enormity, mountainous in her irreducibility, the Fat Lady sits, though no chair is visible, breathtakingly to the east. Paths around the attraction lead northeast and southeast. The exit is south.
Can we talk to her?
I think this is the first time I've ever seen a game where a character takes up 2 locations.
Yep. Look at Tina. The Fat Lady is wearing a big top, and the expression on her face is sad and distant, almost Rushmorean. She appears to be holding a small radio up to her ear. Talk to Tina. She doesn't seem to notice you with that radio in her ear. Listen to radio. You're not close enough. Okay. So she's to the east, but we can go northeast and southeast around her. Let's try northeast. It's a long hall, the scenery changing little. Eventually you arrive at east half of Fat Lady. The Fat Lady sits, although no chair is visible, breathtakingly to the west. Paths around the attraction lead northwest and southwest. There is a stool here.
You might need that to tame some lions later.
Oh yes, good shout.
It's a good
I
one.
hadn't even thought of that. I
No.
just thought about standing on the stool and listening to the radio.
But of course,
Talk
when
to
they
Tina.
hold the
Yeah,
two,
no,
then
that's
the
right.
whip, yeah.
Oh yeah, we need to whip some lions. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh. One leg of the stool is shorter than the other two. Okay.
It's already been chewed by a lion.
Yeah. Presumably southwest just takes us back round to the west half.
I don't know if this is ethical, but can we climb up Tina?
We can't go... Okay, climb...
It is dropping a lot of sort of
Mountainous.
isn't it?
It has. The slope is too steep. We could stand on the stool. Oh, it's too rickety to support our weight. Look at radio. You can't see a radio. Look at Tina. Okay. Sorry?
Can we take the stool?
We can.
I know this would be very rare that there'd be a piece of equipment that you get to use twice. But if we still had the pole, we might be able to use the pole to knock the radio out of her hand so she listens to us.
This poor lady's only entertainment.
Yeah, I know. We can also just leave her alone.
Just, yeah.
Something else.
You're like, hey! And smack the radio out of her hand. It's not very polite.
Get the pole and poke the fat lady.
Is that an instruction? Have you, you've just committed to the act, have you, Woods?
It's the best I can think of.
Yeah. Okay, that means going out of the turnstile. I'm not sure if it'll let us back in. I mean, I guess I still have the ticket. I do have, yeah. I still have the ticket.
Sorry, are you actually going to do what I suggested? I didn't hear what Woody said.
Woody said, "Poke the fat lady with the pole," is what Woody said.
Maya says, "Do we have to find food for her?"
No, okay.
Maybe feed her a lion.
Okay. I guess, yeah, I'm going to leave the stool there, and we can come back to this, but let's go check out the other sideshows and then go out and get the pole. So South was the other one that we hadn't heard of previously, wasn't it? This was, Andrew Jenny. Jennifer's Boudoir. This is a cosy little drawing room where guests are received. On the gloomy west side of the room, a spiral staircase leads upwards. Andrew Jenny is the attraction of this sideshow. He appears standoffish. She's looking bored.
Interesting. Two genders.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Is it like conjoined twins type thing, or?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or it could be Siamese twins, yeah.
Jennifer's Boudoir. Yeah, I mean, it may be that Andrew Jenny looks female from one side and male from the other. You can't. Okay, I've just tried to look at Andrew Jenny. It says you can't use the verb look with multiple personalities. Each must be observed individually. Look at Andrew. Andrew's wearing an army boot, combat fatigues with a black leather shoulder holster and a pith helmet. He sneers at you, his handlebar moustache nearly poking his eye. What are you staring at? Now let's look at Jenny. She has on a svelte, calf-length black evening dress and a pink feather boa draped over her shoulder. Okay. Talk to Jenny. Jenny looks at you expectantly as if you seemed to be about to talk. And the same with Andrew. Let's ask Jenny about Andrew. Ask Jenny about Andrew. She sighs. Mr. Tough Guy, huh? Deep down he's not really this mean. Just don't get on his bad side, honey. Andrew turns sarcastic. My better half. Ugh. Well, can't live with her. Can't live without her. Let's ask Andrew about now. What was the circus owner called? It's Barnum backwards, wasn't it? Munrab, right?
Yeah.
A long silence tells you that Andrew isn't interested in talking about Mr. Munrab. Ask Andrew about Tina. No. Ask Andrew about detective. No.
Do we know what the name of Munrab's daughter was?
Oh dear.
I have a horrible feeling that we were told and I can't remember.
Let me just look in the scroll back. How far back can we go? Can we go right back? No, it's just this session. That's unfortunate. We'd have to either Google it and risk spoilers, or someone would need to review last edition's video.
Well, he doesn't seem that interested in talking about anything at all.
No, that is true. Jenny might be. Oops. I could ask Jenny about Munrab. But
Well, I just looked it up and didn't get any spoilers, but her name's Chelsea.
Chelsea.
How did I not remember that?
That's, yeah. Ask Andrew about Chelsea. No. Okay, so this is, I think we're drawing blanks here. Oops. Yeah, but they do talk about each other. Okay. Just wondering if you can ask them about something about each other. Okay, we can go up. We can try and go up. Andrew goose steps to a position in front of the spiral staircase, dragging Jenny's high heel across the ground. There Andrew stands, blocking your way up. Stiffly, he pats his holster a couple of times, and you hear its leather crinkle. Okay. So we need to get past Andrew Jenny. About gun? No.
Okay, this is a real long shot, but what if we go outside, put the gorilla costume on, and come back in again? Would it be one of those ironic twists that a safari hunter is actually scared of wild beasts?
Well, yes, or you know what else could happen, don't you? I mean, the pith-helmeted madman might just pull his gun out and shoot us immediately.
Yes.
Yes.
Only one way to find out.
Well, very true. When in doubt, save the game.
Didn't Jenny have a feather boa, and Andrew had the gun and the helmet? Is there any way we can get them? Maybe ask one to get that from the other.
What do you mean, like ask Jenny to take the gun?
Yeah.
I asked Andrew.
Or ask Andrew to take the feather boa.
What, to soften him up? You mean somehow?
Tickle him with, or we could go and tickle Tina.
Well, I asked Andrew about the gun, and it says I don't know the word gun, so I could do the same to boa. Let's just try one avenue at a time. So wear suit. You're now wearing the gorilla suit. I'm going back in. I'm not sure what to do. Beat chest. Don't know the word beat. Okay. Up. We get the same response. Hey man, like I'm an actual gorilla here. I'm not sure this is right, is it?
Something to bear in mind, and then just
Yeah.
explore the other location.
I guess we'll have to come back to it. Let's remove the suit. I get the impression as well that like when you solve something, it's just like there's not much fanfare about it, you know. Like we took the pole up onto the high wire and just walked across it. There was no, you know, it didn't even mention you use the pole to balance or anything like that. It just did it, and kind of the same with the ticket. So I think whatever it is we need to do, like it, you know, if the solution was we had to be in a gorilla suit, I think it would have just unlocked, if you like. It didn't say anything at all about.
Chris, do you think going to see Rimshore and getting our palm read or something like that will help give an objective? Because at the minute we're kind of wandering around trying to figure out what we do. But if it's on the ticket, that visit might help us just have a little more direction.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. We'll do that now. Hypnotist's parlour. The parlour, with its tufted black leather sofa, softly lighted chandelier and darkly varnished panelling, strives for a subdued turn-of-the-century motif and is purposefully dimmed, thus setting the mood for conveyance, for squinting. Standing here attired in an immaculate black tuxedo is none other than Rimshaw himself. You see nothing interesting about Rimshaw the Incomparable, contrary to his billing.
We don't think he's the actual hypnotist, do we?
Okay.
I said look at sofa. Before you can fix your gaze upon the leather sofa, Rimshaw the Incomparable speaks. You are wondering about the leather sofa, but I can assure you there is nothing at all unusual about it. Observe for yourself. Rimshaw gestures in a grand manner towards the leather sofa. Amazing. Okay.
Can we sit on the sofa?
What else can we actually look at? Look at tuxedo. See, nothing special about the tuxedo. There's a chandelier. How do you spell chandelier? Same thing again. You are wondering about the chandelier, but I can assure you there is nothing at all extraordinary about it. Okay. Sit on sofa. You're now on the leather sofa. Ask Rimshaw about palm reading.
Do we just present the ticket?
Show ticket to Rimshaw. Rimshaw steps nearer, speaking in a very spiritual tone. I can tell immediately that you yourself possess great powers of transcendence. It is your eyes which bespeak your affinity with those mysterious energies that choose to remain unseen. He punches your ticket and hands it back. What do you want? Palm? Palm reading? Palm? What do you want?
Hypnotist. We're in the hypnotist part, aren't we?
Oh, it was all Rimshaw. The ticket. Oh, I mean, let me just read that again. I thought.
Isn't it palmistry on the ticket?
The ticket says that this ticket also entitles you to 3 sessions with Rimshaw the Incomparable. Simply present your ticket to 1. Have your palm read, 2. Undergo hypnosis, and 3. Allow him to read the bumps on your head.
Oh yeah.
So do we ask for 1?
Yeah.
No. Ask for palm. Ask Rimshaw for palm. Unsurprisingly, that Rimshaw the Incomparable doesn't oblige. Okay.
Are they numbered on the ticket?
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
What happens if you just type in 1?
Do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking.
No, it says that there's no verb in that sentence. Ask Rimshaw for 1. No. Show palm to Rimshaw. Rimshaw the Incomparable takes your hand and studies the palm lines with the intensity of a cartographer, finally saying in a dramatic whisper, "Tonight you have an appointment with destiny."
Brilliant. Who's she?
Okay.
I'm going to show him your head.
There's nothing eye-catching under the leather sofa. Show... Show head to Rimshaw? Oh. Rimshaw the Incomparable places his fingertips on top of your skull and begins going carefully over its hills and valleys, pausing occasionally for comment. Intelligence. I ascertain you play Infocom games. Personally, I enjoyed Enchanter. Romance. A tall, handsome stranger will soon come into your life. Travel. You will visit the Grand Canyon before the year is out. With this, Rimshaw gives a perfunctory slap up the side of your head and says, "End of session."
Try looking into Rimshaw's eyes. See if he'll hypnotize.
Not around the eyes.
It doesn't know, the parser doesn't know the word eyes, so that's not something.
Did we skip the hypnosis?
Or we just
I don't know the word hypnosis. Do you think we need to get Rimshaw to hypnotize someone else?
That's an option.
Could you ask him about teaching us hypnosis?
Ooh. I just said ask Rimshaw to hypnotize me. Rimshaw the Incomparable approaches you purposefully. Poised in front of you, the hypnotist points both of his hands, tension-filled fingers at you, and commands, "Relax!" Now count backwards slowly from 100. With transcendental calm, you begin mouthing the words 100, 99, 98. Your mind begins to drift back, back, back into the most recently forgotten past. Standing room only. You're in the blues, sitting high above the arena floor. You know the exit from the grandstand to be vaguely eastward and down. All around you, the crowd is in a state of pandemonium.
Is this the way to explore the past in the game?
Yeah.
When the circus was still on?
I think so.
That's very cool.
Yeah, back into the most recently forgotten past. The exit from the grandstand is eastward and down. I mean, should we try going there? You're seated.
Well, I guess we're back in the big top, aren't we, on the grandstand?
We are. I say, because I've tried going down, it says, but you are seated. You hear a loud growl nearby.
Maybe this is someone else's past.
Well, I just wondered if it's like lucid, like we can actually move around in it as if it's a dream.
No, I definitely think we can. We're about to be eaten by a bear or a lion.
Yeah.
An inventory. Do we have our stuff with us?
I've just said stand up. It says, as you rise, your row scrunches into the empty space. You hear a loud roar nearby. I'm going down now. You plough your way downward through the crowd. Standing room only. All around you, the crowd is in a state of pandemonium. The paths of least resistance are up and east. You realise the noise is your own stomach.
I've just realised that we might discover that the ticket that we found on the ground is our ticket.
Oh, that would be
From when
clever.
we did this
From
job
because
from
we're
before.
back in the past.
Yeah.
You have 1841 to your name. A hawker appears at the west end of your row, calling out in a sing-song manner, "Get your popcorn here, get your cotton candy here."
So we already know that we've bought some food, don't we? Because we didn't start the game with this amount of money.
I was going to say, how much money did we have the last time we looked?
About $12 on it.
Yeah.
12.81 or something, wasn't it?
Guess we want to buy some food.
Do we want to know exactly, so we know exactly what we've spent for some reason?
Buy popcorn. The hawker can barely hear you above the crowd noise. He flashes one finger, then 8 fingers, then 5 fingers at you and gestures to pass the money through the crowd. Oh my God. I mean, give 150, no, 185 to crowd? Your 185 is passed from hand to hand all the way down the row. As the hawker pockets your money, he's suddenly engulfed by the crowd, which erupts into a standing ovation. The state of riot panic continues for several anxious moments.
May has worked out that we have $5.60 more than we.
I'm looking at arena. You know the exit from the grandstand to be vaguely eastward and down. All around you, the crowd is in a state of pandemonium. The paths of least resistance are up and east. The bank of people above you shouts in chorus, "Down in front!" The audience settles back. Oh, down in front. The audience settles back down to a state of pandemonium. Guess people at the back couldn't see. Well, they're shouting at me. Oh, let's go east then.
Or we could try going up if we.
I think
we could see what's going on.
we've just been up. I think I stood up and then went down.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where we came from.
Yeah, go down.
I want my popcorn.
Yeah, we're hungry, man.
There's no hawker though. East. The row of legs pivots away as you scissor awkwardly past. Standing room only. All around you the crowd is in a state of pandemonium. The paths of least resistance are up and west. Well, let's go up here then. You plough your way upward through the crowd. Standing room only. All around you. Paths of least resistance are up, down and west. Go up even further. A hawker appears at the east end of your row, calling out in a sing-song manner, "Get your tofu here, get your old Coke here."
Okay, I
think we might need to map this. I'm getting a little bit confused.
Well, we either need to map it, or this is. I think this is basically a maze, but the goal of the maze isn't to find the exit. The goal of the maze is to find hawkers that you can buy stuff off that lets us spend exactly the right amount of money to take us back to where we were before.
Do you?
Or we might learn some information.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm reticent to try buying anything else off the hawker. We don't appear to have any particular need or use for this, for what the hawker is selling. Well, when we started by going down and then east and then up. We can go further up or west from here. I think if we go west from here, we end up back where we started. So I'm just in my head, just to kind of figure out what this looks like. I think this is what we've done. Except it's obviously not all called Rimshore. I suspect if we go back that way, we'll end up where we started. Was it called Standing Room Only?
I think it's also worth noting that there was some really weird language. I mean, unless I'm mistaken, how do you settle down to pandemonium?
Yes. Well, I think so everyone was in a state of pandemonium, and then they burst into spontaneous standing ovation. So the general level of excitement is up here, and it went like up here, and now it's just gone to mere pandemonium.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
But I think we should try going up from here.
Yeah.
Or do you just want to confirm that going west will take you back to where we were?
Well, we've got no way of knowing because the locations are all the same. Again, we're in a maze where the only identifying feature are the exits. God damn it. That's a reference to Fish for those that have not watched that whole series. You plough your way upward through the crowd, standing room only. All around you, the crowd is in a state of pandemonium. Paths of least resistance are down and east.
No, you can test that theory, Chris. If you go down now,
Yeah.
are we back with a hawker that's selling tofu and coke?
I think the hawkers come and go, though.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
The trudging downward, the hawker disappears into the crowd. So, I mean, east is where we haven't been yet.
I was just going to say we haven't been east, have we, from up here?
The row of legs pivots away as you slither awkwardly past. Paths of least resistance are down and west from here. Well, this is now failed because we've done this and then this, haven't we? Oh. And then we went that way, but now apparently we can go west. So I now don't know quite how this works. Oops. Parsley resistance are down and east. The hawker here says, "Get your yogurt, get your new Coke." I mean, maybe maybe you are right, Mike. Maybe we have to figure out what the cost of each of these items is, and figure out how to get back to exactly $12.80, whatever it was that we had before.
Some really weird things to be selling in a circus crowd.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how much they're influenced by Monty Python, but you know, is someone going to be selling?
Wolf's nipples.
Yeah. Exactly. Wolf's noses, hyena nipples.
It's 8 o'clock, by the way.
It is. This might be a good place to stop. Would you mind if I had to have a little explore of the maze between now and next time.
One question: Can you? I know it says the path of least resistance. Can you go
That's
any other paths?
that is a good shout. So if I tried going west from here, it's impenetrable to the west.
Okay.
The other idea that I had, Chris, is if the only thing that we're carrying is money, could you drop different amounts of money on the floor to act as a marker to help you map the...
If you try drop 10 cents, it says you can't afford to.
Sorry if I've missed this, but is the maze puzzle trying to figure out the route of the hawker? So we've got to find out where he's going through each move so we can sort of be in the right place at the right time.
I think the hawkers just appear and disappear quite randomly. Like from the previous location, after it said we can't afford to drop 10 cents, it says trudging upward, the hawker disappears into the crowd. And then we went up after them. Oh, it says, and we have no upward mobility, so we can't follow them. And then a hawker appears at the west end of our row, calling out in a sing-song manner, get your tofu here, get your yogurt here.
So if you just wait, I imagine they'll leave and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at the west end of our row, so what happens if we go west? We can't go west. And then they've just left.
We bought popcorn, didn't we?
We did, but we didn't receive the popcorn.
No, but we spent
Yes,
$1.85.
we did.
Feels like, I know that it's a massive long shot, but if that is important, knowing exactly how much that each thing costs.
Yeah.
Well, so far we've got, what have we got? Granola, Coke, yogurt, tofu.
Then we've got old Coke and
Oh, old and new Coke, right.
and yogurt and tofu.
And cotton candy.
Oh, it's interesting. I just tried buying granola and it said the crowd noise completely drowns you out. Oh, of course, yeah, it's our stomach that's rumbling, isn't it? And growling. So we need food. But which is the right food? How do we get the food to end this?
maybe we have to time, because the crowd is noisy and then not noisy, or it's like standing ovation or not, and so we have to kind of time being able to buy some food so that we actually get the food. Because when we tried to buy it before, we didn't actually get it, did we? Because the crowd erupted around us.
Yeah, maybe. Can't buy peanuts. Anyway, I think this needs a bit more experimentation. But yeah, there must be the right way of buying food with the money that we've got. And either eating it to move on past the maze or reducing the money we've got to the same level as we had before we were hypnotized that gets rid of the maze. But it's going to take some trial and error, I think, isn't it?
I agree.
So, on that note, thanks very much for joining. We'll try and solve this, or at least try and find out more about it by next time. Maya says, very cool about exploring the past. Yeah, like I was really hoping that it would give us some clue as to what happened to Chelsea. Like we'd witnessed something that hadn't been important back then, but is important and relevant to us now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to find out. All right. Thanks everybody. Bye all.
Next week.
Next week.
Cheers.